started. All right, welcome everyone. My name is Tristan Claridge and I'm the president of the International Social Capital Association. And I'm really delighted to have with me as well, Marion Cornish, who is also a director of the new association. And the other directors aren't able to attend this session. They're in other parts of the world where it may be not quite so suitable to attend. We've also got lots of committee members here and people who have been very active in the group. So I wanted to acknowledge all of you before we got started. This can't happen without everybody getting involved, and it's wonderful to see that's been happening over the last couple of years. So as in terms of an outline for what we'll cover in this session, I'll give you a little bit of background about ISCA, that's the International Social Capital Association, including a bit about our vision and purpose and the values and culture that we have. Then I'll share with you the details of the current executive team before talking about membership. I think that's probably the most interesting thing. And I'll actually show you the website and give you a little run through about how it works and the individual classes, the options for fee waiver and the organizational classes as well. And then we'll have a look at how you can get involved, committees and special interest groups. A lot of these things are not yet established or just about to be established, but there's going to be certainly lots of ways to get involved in future. So I'm hoping this first part will only be about 15 or 20 minutes. And then basically we can stop the recording and we can open it up for some questions and discussion, anything that you want to know about this new association. So ISCA is an incorporated society, and we decided to register it in New Zealand. It's an international society, so it operates all over the world, but we needed to register it somewhere. And I'm in New Zealand, and it seemed like a logical place to register the entity. So ISCA is governed by a board of directors, and they're elected by and from its members. So it's democratically governed. It's an international, non-profit, democratically governed, member-based association. And we have a constitution that details, it's actually quite a long constitution, but it details all the rules about how, well, everything, basically. And you're welcome to have a look at that. It's on the website. Just go to the governance page. And from there, there's a link through to the constitution. So I'll run through these fairly quickly. Our vision, this is the thing we're working towards overall, is a world where social capital and its outcomes are valued, researched and enabled amongst all peoples so that we may benefit from human sociability and connectedness. So this is our overall vision for what we would like to contribute to. And our mission is to advance the research on and the practical application of social capital for the benefit of all. And we've tried to outline some of the aims that we think are important to work towards, to progress towards that mission and to contribute towards that vision. So the first one is to advance the scholarship of social capital through development and clarification of conceptual and methodological approaches. And what we see quite often is people being a bit unsure or confused about the variety of different conceptual approaches. And we're hoping as an international community, we can help to provide some development and clarification of them, basically to make it easier for researchers to be able to use the concept of social capital in their research. We also want to improve the usefulness and the practical application of the social capital concept to increase its impact and the benefit for everybody. So social capital is very appealing, but it can be quite difficult to use in research or practical applications. And we feel together as an international community, we can work towards making it more useful so it can have a greater impact. We'd like to cultivate a thriving global community focused on social capital research and practice. And I think we already have that. We have Robert Putnam's webinar was attended by, I think it was about 1,000 people, representing about 130 different countries. So we really like the fact that we're able to encourage people and welcome people from such a wide variety of different countries all over the world to this association. And we think this thriving community is really important, both in its own right, but also to achieve many of our other aims as well. We also want to be a trusted and accessible source for social capital theory, research, practice, and policy advice. So we think we can develop resources. We can be a place to go to get information and trusted and accessible information about social capital. And this is something that everyone can benefit from. We want to make information about social capital research and practice widely available. And that's part of the reason why we've been doing our webinars for the last 2 years. Is everyone's welcome, it's free, and you can hear from experts on social capital and make that widely available. And of course, there's a lot of other ways in which we could do that as well to expand on that and do a lot more. We want to engage in activities and projects and programs related to social capital and with the potential to generate revenue. Because if the association can generate revenue, then we can do more in these other areas and these other aims. And we can also then return or disperse some of that surplus value or capital, if you like, towards initiatives that align with the organization's aims and values. So membership, of course, is a very important part of our revenue generation. But it's also the possibility in future for us to engage in other activities as well. And we also want to facilitate opportunities for publishing, presenting, and promoting social capital research and the practical application as well. So already through our webinar series, a lot of people have the opportunity to present. We want to expand that into publishing and other areas that can help our membership and the wider community as well. So as you can see, we're being quite ambitious about the ways in which we want to work towards our core overall aim. I'll just flick back to that. Our mission: to advance the research on and practical application of social capital for the benefit of all. So you can see how we've developed all of these aims to progress towards that mission. So our values here: we value inclusivity and connection, support and service, integrity, excellence, pluralism, sustainability and giving. All of these things are really important, and they're listed on the website, and I encourage you to have a look at them. They're enshrined in our constitution, and they're things that we want our organization to live by and operate by going forward. We also felt it was important to detail a culture. It's very similar, of course, to the values, but we wanted to be very specific about the sorts of things that we wanted to build in our culture. So again, this is on the website and in our constitution, and you can have a look at these and review. So moving on, our current board of directors were elected at a founding meeting in December of 2021. And it's taken from then until now for us to establish the association. Setting up a bank account and putting everything in place takes quite a long time. And all of the current office holder positions will be re-elected at the first AGM, which is the annual general meeting, in September of this year. So we're just temporary office holders, if you like, at the moment. And once we have our first AGM, all of those positions will be elected by the members. So if we then meet the current board of directors, I'm currently the president. We have Jacob Spunker, who is the vice president. We have Ramu Bishwakama, who is the secretary. We have Rick Mask, who is the treasurer. Emily Pitts, who is a director. Marion Cornish, who is also a director. And Garrett Shishi, who is also a director. So this is the current board of directors. We're all voluntary. We all work on a voluntary basis. None of us are paid for our time and work. As I mentioned, we're a non-profit organization, and we're really run and driven by volunteers. So membership, it's now open. Today's the first day. So you can join now or anytime between now and the AGM in September, and you'll be a founding member. So at the moment, we don't have a lot of benefits of being a member, other than saying you're a member of ISCA and, of course, attending things like webinars and being involved in our groups and discussions. But in the near future, there'll be a lot more benefits, the potential to have discounts at conferences. We're floating a lot of ideas, but of course, we need to work towards that. So getting involved now in these early days and supporting this growing organization will earn you that founding member title, which would be an important thing to have going forward. So our membership dues are also tiered by country to make sure they're accessible for everybody. And these tiers are based on the World Bank country classifications of income level. So if I just bring up the website, I can show you how that works. Okay, so this is our website. Membership is now open. I've gone to join now, is where we are right now. And we've got two main classes of membership. We have individual members and we have organizational memberships as well. So institutions or organizations, corporations, companies can also join. So the easiest way to find out which tier you're in, whether you're in a high income country, medium income or low income country, is to select your country from the drop down. So if I was in Australia, then I would select Australia from the drop down, and it would automatically change, would tell me that I'm in a high income country, and automatically change to show me the options just for that tier and the pricing for that. If I change to a different country, then that's a low income country, and you can see that it's changed automatically. So that's a quick way for you to find out what the options are. So just talk briefly about each of these options. Individual is probably what most people will choose to join as. That's for anybody 18 years or older. And you can see the rate there for low income countries. See if I can go back so you can see all of the rates. The supporter is basically just double the individual rate. And this is something you can choose to do if you want to give a bit more to the organization every year. You can, of course, you can donate money, but if you just want to make it part of your membership every year to pay more, then you can choose this supporter option. We also have the student option, which is available for full-time students, regardless of what level of study you're engaged in. We also have retired, for this is really anybody who is not working, and you'll see that the rate is the same as the student rate. And we also have a lifetime option. If you'd like to pay a larger amount just one time, that will give you membership for life. And you'll see that it's basically 10 times the individual rate. So for a high income country, it's $75 US. For life, it's just 10 times that, 750. And then you don't have to worry about it anymore. So for me, I would choose high income country individual because I live in New Zealand, and you just simply select that option and it takes you through to the membership form where you can fill in your details, your username, select a username and put in your email address and passwords. This is how you would be able to log into the website and gain access. You can make a donation if you would like to here. Of course, you don't need to, but it might be a way to give a one-off extra bit of money to the association to help it get started. Put in your personal details, just scrolling down, and we're just selecting we're also asking for a small amount of information just to help us with member reporting. This information is not made public. It's not listed on your user profile, your public member profile, but it helps us to be able to report on how many people of different genders and of different ages we currently have as members. The space there for you to put in credit card details for the payment. You can opt for it to auto renew if you like. You can click through to read our constitution if you want to see all of the rules and laws, bylaws that we operate by. Of course, you need to agree to the terms of membership, and then you would simply submit the checkout. So it's a relatively straightforward process, we hope. If you cannot pay by credit card for some reason, it may be possible for you to pay by other means. So please get in touch with the membership email address. So it's listed at both the top and the bottom of this page. If I just scroll back to the top, you'll see that for any questions about membership, you can email membership@intsocialcapital.org, and we can potentially organize for an alternative way for you to make payment for your membership. If I just go back, I'll also show you the organizational categories that are available. So community-based organizations, so these are non-profit organizations, and this is free, or you can choose to pay a small fee. So these are small community organizations that can get membership, and that includes one individual membership. So the organization would have a membership and one individual could get membership as part of that as well. Institutional is also non-profits, government institutions, educational institutions with a revenue of less than 500,000. This is non-profits with a revenue of less than 500,000 US dollars per year. And this includes 3 individual memberships as part of that. And then there's the corporate So any for-profit organization, and this includes up to five individual memberships as part of that. So the process is the same if you want to apply for one of these. You get those seats, so those individual memberships. Once you have signed up as the organization, you then get the details of how you can then register those individuals as well. So that's basically the options for membership. I'll just quickly show you my account so you can see what it looks like once you actually log in. So I'm currently logged in here, so you can see my account details. I'm an individual member, renewal date. There's options to update billing and to change my membership type. I can edit my profile from here and change my password. And you can see the details of the payments that have been made in the past. So I'm in New Zealand, so I had to pay a little bit of goods and services tax on top of my membership. But basically, it's roughly the same as the high income country individual membership. Click through to edit your profile. This will look slightly different for me because I'm an admin, but it'll look very, very similar for you. You can see you can change your details here. You can hide yourself from the member directory if you don't want your details to be displayed on the website. And you can also choose a profile photo and then the rest of the details that are editable there. And you would update your profile at the bottom. So that's the details of membership. I'll just finish off the rest of the little slide deck, and then we can have some questions if you have any about membership types and tiers and processes. So I've identified quite a number of different ways you might be able to get involved. As I mentioned, we're a brand new association. A lot of things are still being established and will take a little bit of time for that to happen. But it may be possible for you to get involved in committees or small working groups that are responsible for specific areas of our operations. So these are the current committees that we have established, although some of these are not quite yet established, but they will be in the near future. And the chair of the current committees are board members, but in future they don't necessarily need to be board members. So the committees is one way that you might be able to get involved. We also want to have special interest groups. Special interest groups, because we have such diverse interests in social capital, different discipline areas and fields and applications and perspectives, we think it's really important to develop these special interest groups. And it's a way to enhance collaboration and cohesion of the association and promote and advance research and application in these diverse areas. So this will need to happen and soon. We haven't started on this just yet. But what we'll be looking for is people who want to chair one of these special interest groups. You know, it might be social capital and disasters, for example. And we need somebody who wants to chair that, who wants to be the champion for it, and to basically organize and facilitate and get that happening. And so we can start developing these special interest groups just about as quickly as people step forward wanting to chair or take them on. We also thought it might be good to have regional representatives or even groups, being a global association. People are all over the world in different time zones, speaking different languages from different cultures. It might be good to have some of these smaller groups as well. So again, somebody who can chair one of these and take it forward and start doing some organization around that. And I think this would be a fantastic thing to do. It may not happen right away. It may take a little while, but it's something that we've discussed as being a good idea. And of course, you can get involved in the AGM. If you become a member of the association, then you have the right to vote at the AGM. You can also even nominate for the board, and we have a nominations committee that will help with the selection process for those people who decide to nominate. And that will take place, as I mentioned, in September of this year. And more details on that will be available soon. All right, so that's the short details of our association. So I'll just hit stop on the recording and then we can have some discussion.